Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sam, or Chaotic, and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing and discussing 10 new cars that we want to see added into GTA Online this year in 2018. Despite GTA 5 now turning 5 years old later this year in September, the game is still doing extremely well. In fact, last year, 2017, was the game's most successful year, with more players playing the game than ever before, the game generating more money than any previous year as well, and as a result, Rockstar have confirmed just last week in fact, they will be continuing with releasing regular major updates in GTA Online. And did you guys know that last year, in 2017, in the 4 updates that Rockstar released, they added almost 100 new vehicles in the game, which brings the overall total to 532 vehicles. Now I'd imagine with the current performance of GTA 5, Rockstar will aim to do something very similar this year, releasing around 3 or 4 updates before the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 in October, with a very similar amount of content, new vehicles, and so on. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 10 of the most requested vehicles by the community that we want to see added to GTA Online this year. And to start things off, we're going to begin with a vehicle which I'm driving around right now in the gameplay. Now I'm sure straight away many of you guys know what this is, but in case you don't, this is a 2017 Chevy Camaro ZL1, which is one of my favorite cars in real life. In fact, this is my favorite American muscle car. If I could own one of these, I would have one, but unfortunately, living in the UK, they don't sell them here. But I have talked about this in past videos and live streams, and from what I've seen, most people are in agreement. The Camaro would be a really awesome addition to GTA Online, especially seeing we already have the Ford Mustang in game, the Dominator, we have the Dodge Challenger, which is the Gauntlet, we have the Dodge Charger, which is the Buffalo, but there's not a single variant of this in game, and there's certainly a gap for it, and a vehicle which I know for a fact that many of you guys would like to see. There is certainly a gap for it in game. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Rockstar haven't added a modern-day muscle car to GTA Online ever in any DLC or updates, and the Camaro would certainly be a really awesome addition. It looks great, there's plenty of potential in terms of performance and customizations as well, and would overall just be a really nice car to have in GTA 5. Now speaking of modern-day muscle cars, another car I've seen loads and loads of requests for over the past year or two is this, the 2015 Ford Mustang. Now yes, we do have an older variant of this in-game already. I believe the Vapid Dominator is the 2007 Ford Mustang. Do correct me if I'm wrong on that though. But the modern day version is even better looking. I'd go as far as saying as this car is extremely sexy, and I can certainly see why this is a highly requested vehicle to be added into GTA Online. Again, this thing looks good, it's got loads of potential, both in the terms of performance and customization as well, and I can see this being extremely popular with the community as well. Now moving on to something a little less modern, it's not that old, they were still being made up until 2002, but this being the 1993 Toyota Supra. Again, I know for a fact that loads and loads of you guys really want to see these added to GTA Online because these are extremely awesome cars and still very popular in real life today. Mostly because these are pretty impressive when it comes to modifications, customization, and of course car tuning, and we haven't really had a car tuning themed update for a long time in GTA Online. But I do feel like 2018 will be the year that we do get another customization heavy updates, and if Rockstar do that, of course this car, the Toyota Supra, needs to be one of the cars they add to the game in that update. In fact, Rockstar haven't added any new vehicles to Benny's original motorworks in over a year, with the last one being the Italy GTB Custom, which was added to GTA Online last year in January. So adding something like this would be perfect, of course bringing back Benny's original motorworks, something which hasn't really been fully utilized in the last few updates. And speaking of which, another vehicle we'd also love to see in GTA Online, and something Rockstar could also add as a customizable vehicle at Benny's original motorworks, is the new BMW M4. Now again, yes, we do have a similar variant to this in-game already, the Ubermax Sentinel, which yes, is the 3 Series and not the 4 Series, but in fairness, the two cars are very, very similar. But nevertheless, the Ubermax Sentinel is a much older variant and I believe based upon a 2005 or a 2006 BMW, but the new BMW M4 is extremely cool looking, and again, something which I've seen loads and loads of requests for from the community in the last 2 or 3 years. Now, of course, more recently, in fact just a few weeks ago, Rockstar added the Ubermax Sentinel Classic, so an older version of this in-game, but it would be nice if Rockstar went the other way and added a more modern version of the BMW M3 or M4, maybe something like this, which is customizable at Benny's Original Motorworks with similar upgrades. Anyway, moving on to the next car. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, or at least watched one of these videos before that I've made talking about cars that we'd love to see added to GTA Online, well, this car is one of the ones which is always suggested by you guys in the comment section. The 2015 Lamborghini Aventador LP700, and I'm sure you guys can see in the gameplay right now the reason for that. This car is not only good looking, but just extremely cool in general. It looks really nice, there's loads of potential again for customization, and I know 1 or 2 of the Lamborghinis we have in game do have 1 or 2 similar features. Rockstar, of course, very rarely base vehicles off just one, they usually get features from 1, 2 or 3 different variants. Well, this car is something which again is a little different to some of the other ones we have in game. And this is a really cool Lamborghini, the Aventador LP700. So Rockstar, if you're watching this, please give us this. Now, before the release of the Doomsday Heist update in GTA Online last year, there was only one car that was manufactured by the brand Overflod, which in real life, of course, is Koenigsegg. The only car that we had was the Entity XF. But with the release of the Doomsday Heist update, Rockstar added the Autark. But did you guys know the Autark isn't actually based upon a Koenigsegg? It is mostly based upon the Scuderia Cameron Clickenhouse SCG-003, but with a few panels said to be inspired by the new McLaren Senna. But very little of the car is actually based upon a Koenigsegg, despite being placed under the manufacturer Overflod in-game. But nevertheless, that now gives us 2, and possibly suggests that Rockstar hope to add more to that brand in the future. In fairness, Overflod is one of the most neglected car manufacturers in-game, but there are certainly plenty of Koenigsegg's in real life that Rockstar could and should add into the game. One of those being the car I'm driving around right now in the gameplay, this being the Koenigsegg G R. Again, a suggestion I've seen loads and loads of requests for in the last 2 or 3 years or so, and as I'm sure you guys would agree, it is a very good looking car. Anyway, moving on to car number 7, this is the Ariel Atom, and straight away I just want to point out, we don't really have anything like this in-game already. I guess the closest thing we have is maybe the ramp buggy or the dune buggy, but those are 2 very different things to this. It may not look much, but it is pretty impressive. In fact, in real life, because this thing is so small and so lightweight, it is extremely fast from 0 to 60. And these have extremely small engines, which is why it's so impressive. But not just that, these are fairly inexpensive as well, but simply down to the fact that we don't have anything like this in-game already offers the potential to add this or something similar to it to GTA Online. Now, whereas the Ariel Atom is unfamiliar to GTA 5, this next one, the Audi R8, is familiar to the game, and many of you guys should recognize this as it is very, very similar to a vehicle we have in-game, the Obey 9F. Now, of course, the 9F is based upon an older Audi R8, and since Rockstar made GTA 5, it has of course changed once or twice, and the new version, the 2017 Audi R8, is very, very good looking. So again, something which I've seen talked about a lot is Rockstar giving us a newer version of the Obey 9F in GTA Online, maybe the Obey 9F Custom or the Obey 9FS, kind of like how Rockstar have given us a new version of the Comet SR. Something very similar could take place with this as well. And in fairness, the new 2017 Audi R8 is very good looking, plus Rockstar could give us a lot more in the terms of customizations than the current Obey 9F has in-game. I've always said the Obey 9F is a really nice car, but is let down by the lack of customization. Now, with the release of the Doomsday Heist update, we saw the first ever car based upon a Tesla added to GTA Online, the Coil Raiden. Now, unfortunately, the Raiden wasn't that special, but I do believe that Rockstar will try and add more Teslas into the game this year, and in fairness, Tesla do have some pretty cool cars and vehicles releasing over the next few years. One of those being the car I'm driving right now in the gameplay, the new Tesla Roadster, which they announced just a few months ago to be coming out next year. Now, if you guys are familiar with Tesla, and this car specifically, the Roadster, it is pretty impressive. In fact, this car will be sold at a price tag of $200,000, but it will be the fastest production car, and of course the fastest electric production car as well, with a 0 to 60 of 1.9 seconds, which is absolutely phenomenal. So this thing is certainly going to be fast, especially in the terms of its acceleration, but not just that, it looks really cool as well, as I'm sure you guys would agree. So if Rockstar is going to be adding any new Teslas to the game, this needs to be one of them. But moving on to the 10th and final new vehicle that we need to have added to GTA Online in 2018, this is the Gumpert Apollo. This is one of my favourite looking supercars of all time. This thing is just extremely sexy and needs to be added to GTA Online. In fact, these were first in production about 10 to 12 years ago, back in 2006, 2007. I'm not too sure if they're even being made anymore, but nevertheless are extremely cool looking, and as you guys can see, has plenty of potential as well for customization. I know you guys love supercars as well, and I feel like many of you guys would agree with me when I say this, but we need this car to be added to GTA Online this year. Well, with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it then for this video. So those then are 10 new cars that we want to have added to GTA Online this year in 2018. Now, of course, there are loads and loads of cars in real life I know you guys would love to see in the game, but if you guys do have any really good suggestions, which I haven't talked about or mentioned in this video, then go ahead and leave a comment right now. If you guys could also drop a like on this video as well, it would of course be greatly appreciated and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.